Welcome back to Game 2 of Team Storm versus Team Abyss. And after Game 1, there was not a bit of a stomp, but we could see a clear definition of skill between the two. So it will be up to Team Storm to come back. I'm Rogi, joined by Mendrix.
There we go. Yeah, definitely in that regard going on through. I mean, they have the experience. You can see it in Abyss Black at the moment. They seem to be the stronger team. Let's see if Team Storm can show us what they're made of in the second game coming on through and bring this to a Game 3. I want to see the Game 3. Do you want to see Game 3, Rogi?
Oh, of course I do. I'm always up for that.
Yeah, that's exactly the case in that regard. And really, they showed their dominance, sure, but don't count Team Storm out. I still have faith in them. My passion, Storm.
There's a lot to be learnt from a game like that. You know what to do and what not to do. And in a best of 3, you get the feel for your opponent's strategies. You can kind of play against it, and that's why best of 3s are a great display of not just a team's upfront skill, but their endurance.
Yeah, and one of the other things that comes through in that regard, well, then now they know the team fight strategy. Now if they go, well, if we're going to go for another swap there, another lane swap, because we know how to actually fight that better. We know, okay, no worries. We can actually use our buddy system quicker. We can get that extra camp onto Honoka a bit quicker in that regard as well. And then hopefully when they do go in for a dive, it's not going to be as brutal, and maybe he'll just walk to lane instead of trying to, instead of using a TP and getting caught up.
Yeah, the X ban gold is always such a juicy target, but straight away we see Nunu getting banned out immediately.
Probably just trying to knock out one of the comfort picks on the Team Storm side. He's a champion that is sort of falling out of favor from the meta at the moment. He's still very useful in terms of basically making sure he has those dragons under wraps as well. But he is such an upfront tank as well. He can just walk in there and endure an entire match. If there's a mini nearby as well, he'll eat that up and straight away back into the team fight.
Yeah, Nunu, so good. And he gets those extra buffs depending on what camp he did just recently consume. So it's always interesting to see if he goes, before I gank, I'm going to get that extra health off the Krugs, or do I want, that poison bonus off the Gromp?
Yeah, and another thing that's going on through there as we continue the matches, I think we seem to have a little bit of a...
Yeah, a bit of a remake. I think Honoka did not connect,
unfortunately. Unfortunately. We'll be right back with bringing them on through there. But for the time being, let's talk about what Team Storm needs to actually do to win this fight. They had that kite team before. Whenever I watched them before, when they were previously in the team passion fruit, they had more of a team fight composition. They weren't trying to be like this, we're going to kite you from the side, siege you hard sort of team. They had the Orianna picks. They had those upfront tank metas as well. So this sort of change they've put through, maybe it didn't work for them there. Perhaps they were trying to beat Abyss Blacks on champions they weren't comfortable with. Now we'll probably see them coming back to something they're a bit more in line with, things that they use more often, and really go through to actually take this win.
Yeah, well, game 1, you're allowed to make mistakes. That's what it's for in a best of 3. You're allowed to kind of get the scope of what your opponent is all about, what champions they favor, what strategies they favor, and then you take that information on and you work with it. You think, okay, we saw Orianna last game. The Ezreal pick didn't really work that well. Let's place a bit more of a mage-focused team. So it's always interesting to see how they adapt to this information and what they can bring out for game 2.
And also going on through there, they have other options available to them as well in regards to well, maybe we don't want to go for the team comp or a team fight comp there. Yep. We can go for a split push build. Shen's been recently buffed. That's an idea. We saw Shen recently as well. He sort of worked out to the degree. In fact, they ended up taking that fight in there. It seemed to not work in that regard, but out of the blue, boom. Enviro made that one mistake, form knock up. Next thing you know, Shen's ultimate's going through, making sure to keep that Jinx alive, and he went through and ripped from the team. There's a lot of options now with a new patch coming through. Echo has been left open as well.
Yeah.
You can have different looks to see what they can actually go through, and maybe surprise Team Abyss Black, really throw them off guard before they go into the fight.
Yeah, we saw Echo Jungle in the first game of the day being used to great effect, hitting a few of those near impossible parallel convergences. He'd get that massive stun, massive shield, and really just stand still while Echo whacks on you with his clock hand.
That's why he's so strong at the moment, because really he's got so much utility that he can be used anywhere. He's fantastic as a mid laner. I can go for more of an assassin build.
Yep.
He can be built as a bruiser as well, just by that innate fact of his kit. I can go and start a fight, and then I'll use my chrono shift, bring myself back to where I was before. I'm still, I'm maybe not as tanky as the other bruisers that are out there at the moment, but I can still have the same sort of longevity in a team fight.
Yeah, that's definitely correct. With the ultimate being able to basically negate any damage, burn cooldowns by the other team. If he's not locked up and he's in a bad position, he's just going to peace and get out of there.
Piece back into it. You know, because that team, like that Ghost might be sitting in that team fight, and if he does a good, like, no worries, guys, peace out. I'm still here, but you're all half health now. How about that one for a factor?
Yeah, the AP scaling on that ultimate is ridiculous. So if we see those Echoes go for that more assassin-oriented build path, it's definitely a possibility to just see people get wiped out by the Chrono Break.
Yeah, and now also going on through other things such as like Jace as well. I'm surprised we haven't seen Jace come through. He had recently sort of, it's not really a buff per se, or you could call it a buff in regards to that, because now his ultimate levels up with him. So instead, you've got those free extra ranks now to be put into other skills, so you don't have to worry about saying like, oh, well, do I want to put it into my, get that extra cooldown reduction, get that little bit of extra armor when I'm shifting across. Now it automatically levels up as the time goes on. So you can really go straight for that fall from the skies and really, or from his, that poke that he has like coming on through on his Q and just really hit hard.
Yeah, we've definitely been seeing Varus a substitute for that Jace AD poke champion. But enough about that, as we see the bans just getting basically straight out of here. We see Rek'Sai, Kalista, Alistar, Ryze, and Maokai. Very similar bans to the previous games. So not much really we can touch on there. It's going to be waiting for Abyss Miss Fish to lock in the first champion. And we see Hecarim.
Hecarim's coming through. So as we mentioned before, Hecarim has been nerfed recently. They touched it in a way that they sort of surgically removed the fact that he no longer has that multiple stacks with his devastating charge and the home guards. So what you will really look to see that you could find with those teams is they would go through and he'd sit there and wait for the opportunity for a team fight to erupt, teleport in, and just run over the nearest squish he could possibly find. Now that won't be as effective. It's still a good strategy. It's good. It's going to be interesting to see how Abyss Black work it into now that change has come through.
Yeah, it looks like Storm taking a page out of Abyss Black's book, picking up that Orianna and Gragas, two of the real playmakers from last game. So it'll be interesting to see if they can have the same impact as BTLK and Mr. Monkey did.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying before. What I'm used to with Team Storm is they have these team fights that are like following the current meta, really tanky, robust fighters, really team focus oriented. Not this sort of, okay, you could say a Kite team is team oriented to focus, but it's more greedy in regards that it goes, well, it's every man for himself the moment an engage happens, except for Janna. He's going to go on through. Mr. Monkey hovering that Olaf at the moment.
Oh, at the last minute, he switches over to Sejuani.
No!
Oh, and he switches back. That's great to see. Recently, we saw in the EULCS, Fnatic versus Origin, Reignover, dubbed the best jungler in Europe, picking up that Olaf. Didn't do a lot, but it was an interesting champion to throw into the mix. And now we have Mr. Monkey here in Oceanic, taking him for a test drive.
Well, it makes sense as the meta is. We're in this tank meta where everyone's like, we're going to stop you from getting on our ADCs. We want to stop you from getting on our damage. Olaf doesn't give a care about that. You can go on through and be like, yep, no worries. You can try to stop me. I'm going straight towards your ADC. Let me pop my ultimate and speed up with that new change to his ultimate. Now, when he pops it, he gets a slight movement speed increase for the first second.
Yeah, about time as well, because the amount of times you're playing Olaf, you pop your ult and they're like, oh, see ya, and just run away. And you're like, no, come back, please.
But like, just wait, I want to have fun. Come on, I'm not that scary.
But we see Sivir picked up on the side of Team Storm, and Sivir, the epitome of engage and disengage. Olaf is going to have a tough time now chasing down anyone with that on the hunt bonus being active. Yeah,
well, as we mentioned before, Sivir has been nerfed a little bit as well in regards to that. And like towards the end game, that movement speed is not as robust as it used to be, but don't count it out. On top of all that, you do have a lot of disengage thanks to Lulu. That Lulu pick that we've come through, we haven't discussed Lulu. Lulu is really big and useful in this regard because it can be used to either protect Rainy or to really start up engaged so far from Katori. Basically, you're going to have a really big man in the middle of the fights there. And we're talking a huge man in the middle of the fights.
Now, how does the interaction between Ragnarok and Polymorph go? Do you just become an unstoppable squirrel?
Perhaps. I think you would become an unstoppable squirrel. I think at that point in time you're just immune. So she would throw that little thing out, say, look, I'm going to polymorph you, and you can be like, no.
No, you just stay the raging barbarian.
I just stay the raging barbarian and keep running on through. Because there's a lot of things there when you see everyone running it out, immune.
It looks like to round out both teams, we have Gnar and Ziggs being locked in by their respective teams. Gnar, such a versatile top laner. You can build him a bit of damage, you can build him a bit of tank, you can go initiate, you can just kite, or you can chase. He can do it all. So it will be interesting to see if he can, maintain that, not full rage, but, 75%, get it up to that 90% just before a TP, get the big Gnar into the wall.
Yeah, rage management's very important when you are playing the Gnar as well. Another thing you can look at, well, they've already got enough engage on the side of Team Storm. He can really play a more harassed, lane-oriented Gnar, just keep that Hecarim down. Make sure that Hecarim isn't going to be that effective in team fights when he comes on through. It's going to be interesting to see whether Miss Fish decides to just keep that smite he has on hand at the moment, or if he goes for the Ignite, have a bit more lane presence. But now they're going to go for more utility in that regard. Probably he'll have that smite on hand, so that way they can have more objective control as the team fights go out.
Now, you know what I haven't seen in a long, long time? Exhaust. It just seems like Ignite seems to be the preferable summoner spell to always take on your supports. Can you give us any insight into why that is?
Well, at the moment, the reason why that's coming through is because it's what are you going to ignite? You're going to do true damage onto a massive tank half the time. So sure, if you can catch one of the squishies, that'd be great. You can throw your ignite onto that, and it'd be all good. But they're going to be protected. They'll probably lifesteal it back up once it's gone through. And really, you need to have a massive hard engage on them to make that work and make sure that ignite's going to go through. Whereas if you've got the exhaust, well, if you throw out the exhaust, that could really stop a team fight in its tracks once they do start that massive engage. Because that ADC is sort of locked down for those couple seconds as well. And plus, because there's less damage going out, your tanks are going to survive a bit longer as well, which means that gives them more time to really get back on top of them and lock them down as well when they try to kite back.
Yeah, I remember the days of old when you could accidentally ignite minions and you'd go in for that finishing blow and ignite a minion, just watch them walk off, just laughing at you. Oh, the pain is real. But we see Ziggs and Orianna. Very old matchup, very vintage matchup, we could even say.
Yeah.
Basically,
Season 3.
Yeah, basically both just prime wave clearers. Ziggs, you know, it's hard for minions to ever reach the tower through that minefield he sets up. But Orianna, again, we saw the work she can do last game with those well-placed shockwaves. She does have the targets of Gnar and Gragas, who are going to be going in there. Like, can you imagine a Gnar into the wall followed up by a shockwave?
It'd be filthy. It'd be huge. They have an amazing wombo combo on the side there. So it coming on through with that though, the big thing about with Orianna, she just never seems to leave the meta. She's always great to have in teams. So even if, you know, one thing's happened, like, hey guys, we're back into assassin meta. Oh no, wait, now we're back in the mage meta. Oh no, wait, for some reason we've got ADCs there on the side, which is just happening. We had Ezreal last game. Orianna's still there. She's just the most balanced mage that they've ever come across for the mid lane. That is going to be her home probably for the next who knows how many years to come. Yeah, a great staple of any mid lane's champion pool is that Orianna, as you said. And looks like, again, back to this Olaf, he has taken the Ghost over Flash, a smart move because he doesn't need Flash. He's not going to try and like flash away. He wants to continue the chase and have a prolonged fight where he can constantly be picking up those axes, getting the vicious strikes and, you know, really making use of that true damage early on. Yeah, well, that's the thing, though. It's all about chasing down with him. And again, you don't really need the flash anymore with your ultimate. Yeah. Because the idea is most people go like, well, flash ulti, as we saw Sasaki in one of his previous games when he landed that amazing 5-man petrifying glaze. That was off the back because he needed to have the flash. In that situation, Olaf doesn't need that. He just needs to pop his ultimate and run at you. And it's not like he needs to be sneaky in any regard. He's a big barbarian. He's not going to... He's not going to let anyone know about what's happening. He's just going to walk up to and start something. So why would you take a flash? You don't need to be sneaky. Take that Ghost. Really have that longevity fight so you can get more of true damage on going through. Yeah, it's very good to see that he knows his priorities on summoner spells because a lot of the time you think, you know, Flash, it's staple. Everyone runs it. But there are a few champions who do better with that. Tryndamere and Nasus come to mind. And look over at Nautilus and Lulu. We see a lot of Nautilus. We saw a Lulu today, if I'm not mistaken. But... you know, not really one of the higher up supports on most of the pros tier lists. She has recently been buffed. Not this patch, I believe the patch beforehand. They really went through and hit her mana adjustment, so she's actually a little bit more able to remain in the lane a little bit longer as well. That's one of the things. So she's kind of went under the radar as things have gone through as well. She's another fantastic flex pick as well. So if you pick her early, everyone's kind of going, oh great, where is this Lulu going to go? Is she going to be in the top? Is she going to be in the mid? Will she be support? She's jungle. Okay, never mind. We won't worry about that. The Devourer Lulu. The Devourer Lulu. You know, like, you never know. And the other thing is, with that Luden's Echo change that has come through, she's also very effective with that as well. So you can have a look to see, you know, she's got a lot of options open with Lulu. Probably because she's support, you're probably not going to see her there again. She has picked up that Ignite that we were talking about before. So she's really, you know, going to try and see if she can get a good knock up onto probably Jinx once someone like Gragas gets in there, throw Ignite on it, and hopefully that's going to die, basically. Hopefully that Firecracker Jinx falls.
Well, you definitely need an Ignite when you're coming up against Olaf, because he has so much lifesteal and Spell Vamp, I do believe, on that W. So if he
used to be Spell Vamp,
they changed it? Yeah, it was useless anyway.
it.
So it's like he gets on you, and the lower he gets, the more attack speed he gets. So he's deceptively hard to kill.
Yes.
You'll be thinking, oh, Olaf's low, I'll just do all this. And he's like, whack, whack, whack. And you're like, hang on, his health bar isn't going down. So you're going to need that extra Ignite just to deal with the Olaf. So it is a smart pickup on her part.
Yeah, again, also with that, like, Olaf gets stronger the more less HP he has as well, because everyone thinks, like, what do you mean he's got less HP? His Berserker passive, his attack speeds get more and more as well. So it's quite interesting to see sometimes people like try to go in these auto-attack duelists with a 10% Olaf, and he just doesn't die, and he goes through and takes them out. So having that Ignite just to really just pop on through, he's like, I can still Ignite. No, you can't. You're gone. That's what you really need to hope and see, like, coming through there.
So it'll be interesting to see if he goes for, I'm sure he'll be going for that Cinderhulk, but what after? Does he want to just keep getting more and more health? Because not recently, but this season, I do believe, they buffed his true damage to not just be a flat basic true damage. It will scale up with any bonus damage you do acquire.
Yeah, so with that situation in there, it's hard to say what he wants to do. I mean, with having Cinderhulk, which is the obvious pick, you're probably just going to go more and more flat HP, because the whole point of Cinderhulk is the efficiency it creates. That extra, that extra HP you get, the more you build on that regard. It's just such a big deal for him. And because he scales so well with the fact that the lower his percentage of HP, the more auto attack speed he has as well, just means that it means he can hit for longer as well.
Yeah, that is true.
So, in saying that, yeah, maybe his true damage scales a little bit more because you have that extra damage on the side of it. At the end of the day, what they need is someone who's going to go in there, survive the brunt of the damage, and really take their ADC out of the fight.
Yeah, Olaf, he doesn't provide a lot in terms of CC or disable, but he is a pest. I can see it now. The fight begins. Gragas and Na are getting into the backline. Meanwhile, Orianna is screaming, help me, help me. Olaf's on me. He's just, I can't get him off. Because what can Orianna realistically do against an Olaf that's in her face? She has to stand and fight.
She has to, yeah. She can't slow him if he's got his ultimate pop. She can't use a shockwave because that'll be a waste of the shockwave. He's just going to keep running on through it. And the other thing that comes in there as well is that the fact that, well, maybe she can shield herself and sort of try to fight and throw out some attack moves, and that's would be her best thing. Use that ball to the best of her ability. But the thing is, it's just kind of like, well, okay, maybe she'll run away, and then Jinx is like, don't worry, I've got your back there. And he just turns on, or not Jinx, sorry, Siv's like, don't worry, I've got your back. Next thing you know, boom, he just turns on to her. It doesn't really matter. Any squishy is good as a good squishy to Olaf.
It looks like Biss need one more game to close out this best of 3, but can Storm bring it to the final game? Looking forward to this one. Here we go.
Back into the games where we have a symbols thing there. No, they're not going to be trading out. Na might be found by Abyss Black.
Does Olaf have his Q leveled up? I think he does. There comes the slow, but an immediate flash. He had to flash that one. If that slow had hit, even after the flash, they could have potentially kept going. The ghost from Olaf, once he picks up those axes, it refreshes the cooldown. I think it's about 7, goes down to 2.
Yeah, it's just instantly pick up, throw that axe again. Instantly pick up, throw that axe again. You really need to make sure that you're landing him, otherwise it doesn't really go through. I love the skin Mr. Monkey's picked up. He's got that bro laugh going at the moment. They've gone through, they've set up a very aggressive wards that they can go for a lane swap if they want to, but it looks like in this situation, they're going to sit back and take a little bit of farm away from him.
Yeah. Hanoka in a bad spot once again. They know he has no flash available for the first 5 minutes of the game, so we might see a repeat of that 4-man dive in the top lane. It certainly is a possibility.
And again, again with Abyss Black, they go, hey, the lane swap worked last time. Hey, let's do it again. We're really going to make this effective in that regard. Throw them off. Because, again, Hanok is in lane at the moment. He's not really going to make anything happen elsewhere. So he's going to be behind when it comes to farming, while Abyss Black are ahead on the buddy system. On top of that, they're denying more jungle farm away from Gragas as well. And the faster Olaf gets going, the better for them as well.
Yeah, it looks like Mr. Monkey just going to be taking out the enemy red buff here with a little bit of help from Nautilus. Meanwhile, Miss Fish taking out the enemy Wraiths. They're really making this jungle their own. Looks like the good thing about Na is if he is in a 2v1, he still can sustainably get CS.
Yeah, because that's one of the big weaknesses that we had before for for Rumble in that
Yeah.
situation where he was really far behind.
Oh,
He did a fantastic job to come on back on 3, but they're going to do a repeat again. They've got 4 people heading towards that top lane.
But look at this. We said they're going to take the information from the first game and put it into game 2. We see Sayonara coming up. Will he get the early ward down or will he face check? Please don't face check. And he does.
No.
He's going to have to flash immediately. The ghost hasn't been popped just yet, but the Hecarim devastating charge knocking him to the wall. This is a little bit ambitious, but Sayonara going to get away with a slither of health. But oh no, Hanoka is in another bad situation. I don't know how he can survive this one.
He's got locked up. I think they're juggling the towers now. Divine Will this time. He's the one who's going to take it. And Hanaka, unfortunately, is going to fall again. We're having deja vu at the moment.
Yeah, that was a great adaptation from the last game. Sayonara coming up early. He predicted the dive, but unfortunately, he just face-checked the brush. Right, I don't know if it was available at the time, but his Trinket Ward is available right now. So I don't know if that was just a misplay or just carelessness. But unfortunately, it cost their team a kill.
He thought that maybe it'd be fine for him to go through and go like in that regard, because he was thinking, okay, you know what, let's send up Sayonara out early. That'll be all good. That way Hanaka will be okay. No, he face-checked.
Yeah.
Same situation again, except this time on top of that, I've had to blow Mike Summoner cooldowns as well. Black just pushing further ahead, an already early 700 gold lead.
Yeah, this isn't looking good straight away. Maybe even a repeat of last game as Abyss come out to an amazing early game lead. Will they be getting the early tower? It doesn't look like, as Sayonara has migrated to the top lane to help Hanoka survive here. Oh, looks like we see a little bit of back and forth in the mid lane. Orianna going to have the advantage early with that extra shield, providing for some damage reduction. Oh,
yeah, the damage there is real at the moment. PTK feeling the pain that he was inflicting before in the last game. He's not managed to really trade anything back onto Xiao Main, possibly a saving grace for them at the moment, as we'll have to see how the game continues. There we go, trading a little bit back as well in that regard.
Now, they did change the way Zig's bouncing bombs do interact. They have a lot less of an explosion radius, so a lot of the times you will see them bounce over their opponent. But looks like we see Kotoro trying to come up for a kill here.
That ward just waiting him off at the moment there. They'd still have Lulu there just to keep him alive in case something does go wrong. Again, Nia is very slippery at the moment. He just needed his level 2 so he could hop away in that situation. BTK, who's doing a fantastic job when it comes to actually maintaining CS. He's actually already 12 CS in front of Orianna. Never mind, she just picked up a few there. So she's managing to close that gap, but he is about a head of wave at the moment.
Yeah, both these champions going to be looking to farm it up. I will be surprised if we see a solo kill out of either of them anytime this game, besides it maybe 40 minutes in. But yeah, we just see Lulu. You know, she was sitting back a bit, trying to maybe bait overcommitment on the side of Abyss, but they've obviously practiced this strategy many a time. They're not going to fall for that one.
Yeah, no, they know exactly what to do in this situation. They're showing their experience once again and just exerting the dominance over Team Storm as well. That is a massive wave in the bot lane that Hecarim is about to pick up there. I'm sure Sivir is quite annoyed that he's going to be able to easily pick it up. He's on 21 CS to 32, which isn't too bad considering he spent most of that in the jungle previously.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of CS, like you said, and it's really hard to deny the Hecarim in a 1v1. So there's not much Sivir can do but do Sivir things. Push the lane, recall buy, push the lane, recall buy.
Pretty much. That's what Sivir does best as well. She does have that sort of like lane bully potential, but she doesn't have a support to really help her out in that situation now. As we can see, Team Sport have allocated that to Hanaka at the moment, obviously due to the lane swap initiated by Abyss Black. The other thing that's coming on through is there is a dragon happening right now.
Yeah, it looks like Olaf, he does have that increased attack speed. The lower his health gets, he gets a lot of lifesteal off auto attacks, so he can really be a formidable dragon threat.
Yeah, and one of the big advantages is that they have 2 smites as well. Yeah, that's the advantage to it. They're just really playing to their strengths at the moment. We are going to use the fact that Hanaka gets hooked.
Oh, he was able to jump out before the traps had armed, but walks back into them regardless and takes a rocket to the face. Sugoi, he's not afraid to go in and exert lane dominance. Has Kotori been spotted walking up? I don't think so. Looks like Divine Will wants to go for a ward in there, but any attempt at ward will be met by a big belly in the face.
Yeah, that Gragas really, really brutal when he does do his body slam into the face. This will probably be what Team Sport needs to make this happen. Kotori being very patient, waiting for his opportunity to really get there. Divine was sort of duking back and forth, like his spider senses are tingling. He's thinking, where's the jungler? He hasn't appeared anyway. He must be somewhere nearby.
Yeah, Na's almost gnawed out here. It looks like Xiaomain taking a little bit harassed. And the longest range of hooks coming through. Hanoka getting taken extremely low, but here comes that Na. No, he wasn't able to get into Mega Na. So he pops immediately. He's still so squishy in that mini Na form. Oh, heartbreaking.
Very unlucky for Team Storm that he wasn't able to pull off what they need to. If he managed to get to that Mega Na form and get that level 6 knock-up that he could have had there, plus they had this confirmatory. He blew his flash as well and got nothing for it. And now in this situation, a lot of damage going to Abyss Mistfish that he's just going to get out now.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job of harassing that Hecarim under tower, denying what he can in that 1v1 lane. But yeah, go back to mention, he would have been able to get a nice wallop onto 2 members, potentially scoring his team a few kills, but unfortunately not going to happen as he does go back and pick up that early Giants belt. The makings of a randomness.
Yeah, he's going to go full tank in this situation. He's not going to try and go for lane dominance in a lane that you've clearly already lost at the moment. A smart pickup for him to just get as tanky as possible. And so what I'm looking for is that opportunity to really knock up the whole team, push them against the wall, and hopefully that will be what Team Storm need to really go through.
Yeah, it looks like BTKA really getting an early advantage here, about nearly 20 CS up over his counterpart. They do have potentially the same items, but with that extra gold, he was able to buy an amp tome along with a few cookies.
Yeah, that's exactly what everyone needs in the current meta at the moment. He's also going through a bit. He needs cookies, man. He needs cookies. Trust me. Now, the big thing is that he needs to have that chalice that he's picked up as well. That's what he really needs as well, because the thing is that there's so much magic damage happening around on the map at the moment. You're going to get hit up by Oriana's here. There's a little bit coming through. I think, is that magic damage on site? No, they changed it to attack. Oh my god, there was so much things they used. He's being caught out. Yeah,
Xiaomain getting caught out. The shockwave probably not going to be enough. He does flash out. Mr. Monkey getting taken very low. The barrel is unfortunately going to be his savior, Katori. Probably kicking himself for that one. It looked like a kill, but the explosive cast can either be the best move you can do, or the worst.
Yeah, it can be one of the worst there. Hanaka trying to fight against Mistfish. Level 7 to level 5, 2 levels down at the moment. There's not much he can really do there. He managed to go out okay in that situation. They traded half a half there. But once Hecarim gets his Onslaught of Shadows, he can go win. Rainy and Divine are going out.
Yeah, Divine will really picking a fight. I don't think he has the potential to win. 2 levels behind. Kind of same, not even the same items. Oh, and flashes over the Nautilus. The Boomerang Blade going to be enough. BTKA, oh, he's not in trouble here because it is Rainy, the one that's going to get cornered in first. But Abyss Mistfish, the Ignite going to be doing so much, but here comes the Mega Inferno Bomb. Unfortunately, not hitting Hanuka and Segoy in the backline. BTKA, he's running for his life. The Glitter Lance hits. Katori going to be getting a nice body slam here to finish it off by the looks of it. But, oh, Xiaomain. Oh, he's flirting with death, but Mr. Monkey doesn't have ult, so CC is still going to be applied to him. But he's really showing the Viking ways here.
Oh yeah, he's going for he swapped his attention to Sayonara, now just going on through. Will he be able to get away? Wow, he could get double kill if he plays this right.
Oh, the axe went a little bit too far. If he was able to pick that up one more time, I think the reckless swings combined with that axe damage would have been enough to finish off Lulu. But a great teleport out of both top lanes. Kills are now tied up. Still the gold advantage for Abyss, but Hanuka really coming in at the right time to save his team.
Yeah, that tower advantage is what is holding them up there at the moment. No. Divine will he pick him up? My oh my.
Oh, the hop isn't going to be enough. The zap is going to be coming out any minute. Here comes Rainy. The zap narrowly misses Divine Will, turning his attention over to Rainy. Rainy blocks the chompers. The crit's coming through. I think Rainy should have this, but Segoy is going to be coming through, going to be blocking off any further attempt at Divine Will's life.
Well, that zap narrowly missing there. Very lucky for Team Sport that he almost had him after he used his Trinket of Ruin. But
if you had your eyes on the mini-map, the Super Mega Death Rocket went over his portrait, but Mini-Na, a very small character, sitting on about 5 HP, I think. Might have killed him.
Might have killed him. Oh, BTK goes there. What an amazing cast there.
Oh, that was beautiful. Is the Shockwave still available? No, unfortunately, it was used, but Sayonara has his eyes set on a kill there, but BTKA with the backup of Mr. Monkey going to get out of that one.
Yeah, BTK, I'm not sure if he should hang around there at any moment. Who knows what could come out there. He's just going to use his wave clear to really push on through. He manages to get that last minion there to his credit, and he's going to back away. That wave clear that he has so strong. He's got close to a 24 lead on 24 CS lead on him.
Yeah, luckily for Xiaomain, he does have the 2 kills to make up for that discrepancy. So you're just going to see Team Team Storm just, pushing up that bot lane. They want to start getting some towers, get some of that global gold for their team. 3 members here, but they are standing on a ward. So they're going to be seen out.
They think they might have them there at the moment. Sugoi obviously has all the information right there. There's only 2 members of Abyss Black at the moment there, so they're not really going to go on through. They're probably going to just sit there, see if they could bait something out. They knew nothing was happening. Let's take that tower. Yeah,
Hecarim's teleport isn't up. Olaf is on the top side of the map. But in the fog of war, anything is possible. So it is smart for them not to take what seems like some free kills. But we see a little bit of engage going on the bot lane, top lane, sorry. 2 levels ahead for Hecarim. Here comes Mr. Monkey to follow it up. Hanoka, is he going to be able to get the Gnar off to keep himself safe? No, he goes him into the tower. Is that going to be enough? One more shot. No, he wasn't able to proc the hyper passive. That may have been enough to net himself a kill.
Oh, there's more happening along the map. Team Storm, one revenge.
Yeah, it looks like Abyssal Sugoi is just going to be able to flash over the wall, and that's all she wrote as he runs out of that one.
Yeah, very well played there by Sugoi to get out of that situation there. He managed to also force a few ultimates out of Team Storm as well, so very lucky there. But very well good plays by eSports to go through, reclaim another turret on their side, so they push that side, Abyss Black to push that turret up there on the top now for themselves. So very good going on through. A dragon apiece.
It'll be interesting to see if that 3rd dragon is contested by either team. So far, we've seen 2 uncontested dragons, but both teams, Olaf, he kind of has a weird power spike because it's early and then it's late. His mid-game, very lackluster. The early is because of his vicious swings, the true damage, just a lot of flat damage that you can't ignore, but then it kind of falls off once you start to get health. Yeah. But then it comes back when it's low cooldown, and he just keeps spamming it. So it'll be interesting to see the rise, decline, and rise again of his Olaf power spike.
He's just got like this weird sort of curve that goes up, down, all good. And it sort of really pans out for him the moment he picks up that Thorn Mail as well, because then it's just kind of like, what do we do? Do we hit him? Do we not? I don't know if he gets stronger either way. This is just not fair if you really think about it. It's kind of hard. It's kind of interesting to see how it's going to go through. He's picked up that Chilling Smite as well, so just really looking to get some lockdown on them in terms of slows. He's going to slow you down with his Smite, and he's going to slow you down with his axes as well. So once he gets on you, he's going to remain on you.
You saw the confidence in his play earlier, where he was chasing 3 members as a level 5 Olaf back into their base. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do with the full backup of his team in combination with a lot of tank stats.
We're going on through now, just a bit more little bookkeeping. They pick out that pink ward there. There's not going to be cheers if this was an LCS match. Unfortunately,
the crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes, oh, woo, we've managed to take out that pink ward in the river. Good job, guys. And just, all the usual ward clearing at the moment. They have a lot of clear on the side of Team Storm. They have that Orianna, they've got the clear from the Boomerang Blade, and they also have the poke from Sayonara when she gets a little bit. And the cast as well from Vittori. It's going to be very hard to break the base once the siege situation starts.
Yeah, trying to zone them off that tower with a combination of Minefield and Chompers. Still a lot of damage going to be getting dropped into that tower. Jinx really wants... Most champions can't really overstay their welcome and finish off the last shots of those towers, but Jinx with her Get Excited passive has a great time at just escaping. It looks like the level discrepancy we saw earlier has been caught up a little bit as it's only a 1 level difference, so Hanoka going to be taking a few more of these fights.
Yeah, as you can see there, Miss Fish is just thinking, no worries, I'm going to grab this pink ward at the moment, and the crowd goes wild once more. But going on through there, that mid turret is very low. They're setting themselves up to see, they're doing very aggressive plays here in the jungle at the moment. Teams sort of split up again on Team Storm. They know they've got 2 people in other lanes around the map, while all 5 members are beginning to encroach on this area. They're looking for an engage, but that body slam going to get Gragas from safety. Kotori very close to the guy.
Yeah, they were
caught out.
Really great positioning by Abyss eSports Black. They kind of flank through both sides and cause them to give up the tower or else fight basically at a disadvantage. So it's really nice to see them playing the map in that regard. Hecarim, he pushed up top, came down mid, and the onslaught of shadows is nothing to mess around with at this stage.
Oh no, it's definitely not. He's also got that challenging smite as well. So for 2 seconds, it was a couple that used to be 6 seconds. Oh. For 2 seconds, he's doing true damage to you when he hits you with that. So definitely going to be very good coming through as this game progresses, because once he uses that smite, follows up with an onslaught of shadows, with a rampage, he's going to be doing a lot of damage very quickly.
Yeah, it looks like when we go to the CS, Siva has come out about 20 CS ahead of Jinx.
The normal lane bully Siva she is.
Yep, looks like the Ziggs just doing Ziggs things and saying, oh, you're pushing my tower from downtown. Clears the minion wave.
Just throwing out his basketball bomb there on the side. Just
where's Dunkmaster Ziggs?
Yeah, where is that? They should make a Dunkmaster Ziggs. That'd be a fantastic idea for a skin. We should patent that and get some royalties out of that one.
Yeah, you know how in those... Oh, what was that movie? Space Jam.
Yeah.
You always had that one little guy who's just really good at basketball. You got Darius and you got Ziggs. You got the big, brawly basketball player and you got the little guy who's good at that. But
Hanoka.
As I say that, Hanoka, I think he's going to get taken out quite quickly. Oh, and the Onslaught of Shadows is going to go straight through the Gnar. So not going to get affected by that knockback. And Gragas, I don't know if he's in the right place. Here comes the Bromarcia getting screamed out, cannot be disabled, getting repeated over and over again. But he realizes he doesn't want to push up too far. Gragas, quite nimble for the size of that champion.
He is a very nimble champion. I think it's all the booze he's been drinking. You get that whole idea where you get that little bit of extra flexibility.
Liquid confidence.
It's liquid confidence as well. Exactly what you're saying. He's one of those champions where you think he'd be quite slow, but no, he's quite quick on his feet.
Yeah. Looks like Ziggs, he has probably the makings of the Luden's Echo here with that Aether Wisp. Now, do you think a champion with that much AoE needs more AoE?
Now, Luden's Echo has just been a pick that everyone's been sort of getting. Now, it has been nerfed to sort of be more advantageous to the more, how can we put this, more mobile champions like Ahri as well. I think there's a lot of changes coming through for AP as well coming up in the next patches. I think for 5.13. I know we're nowhere near there, but it's going to be big, guys.
It's worth mentioning.
It's worth mentioning at the moment. I believe Luden's Echo is going to get a little bit of a nerf to its AP, but like 10% increase to its movement speed is quite huge. There might be a teamfight happening on this Dragon.
Yeah, Gnar does have teleport up with a near full rage bar, so look for him to teleport in the backline. But Olaf comes in and a beautiful smite to steal that. The shockwave not doing enough, but here comes Gnar. Can he get into Mega? Unfortunately, the double jump is going to come out. He doesn't have flash, so we're not going to see any flash engages. But the Orianna flash command attack is going to be enough in combination with the Boomerang Blade for assists going across to the side of Team Storm.
Abyss Black there trading their jungler away for the Dragon as well. He still had his smite up as well. And he had his Ragnaros. He might have been able to escape, but he does get a bit weaker. Whoa! Hook on to Xiao Mei.
Xiao Mei is going to get hooked immediately, but the wild growth going to be keeping him alive for a little bit longer. Gragas gets taken down. Hecarim, he may have overstayed his welcome. Can Jinx get excited one more time? I don't think so. The Boomerang, oh, it nearly clipped his tail, but he is going to be able to get away from that one with a little bit of health remaining.
So there it looked as if there was just a trade of a kill for the Dragon. Team Storm decided to go, no, we can get this tower as well, and they trade a kill back to Abyss Black. The Baron is up now in the next 10 seconds. What will the teams do? Will they start to get that warding around there, try to go for a bait, or will they try to rush it down? Maybe a desperation play on the side of Team Spawn. They are slowly edging away. Not as bad as last game, but this time around that gold lead is coming back again.
Remember when we said that Hanoka will be going full tank with that Randuin's? It looks like he does have the frozen mallet, so a bit more aggression on the side of this Gnar player.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision to make considering this laning phase has already sort of been cracked open. Abyss eSports made, Abyss Black Sports really made sure they want to get through. Ooh, trying to take that kill there. There goes that BTK, just going to get out with a satchel charge. Not too much happening there now. Everyone's just going to back away from the situation. Back to that frozen mallet. With the frozen mallet, as mentioned before, it's interesting that he's using it because it's such a long lane-dominated item to get. Like, you want to dominate your lane. Not really going to happen when you're 0-4-2 at the moment.
And when you're not laning anymore.
Exactly. That's the other thing as well. The lane phase is over. We've hit that point where it's team fight time. That frozen mallet may help when it comes to chasing people down, but if it doesn't really help the fight to get to that point, who knows what happens. I think there was a body slam onto Ziggs, but the directed Cam wants to use that Sivir ulti.
Oh no, Rainy, he got very baited into that. Thought he could get a kill if he just spell shields the Jinx traps, but Nautilus was waiting in the wings there to be that formidable support we see so often.
Yeah, he was thinking maybe he can pick up another 1v1 kill onto Divine Will there. Unfortunately, he had backup, and this is where we have that Frozen Mallet doing work.
Oh, the wallop comes in. Will we see the Gnar any second? He gets it. Is that going to be a kill? Onslaught of Shadows is up. He wants to get close to the wall, but he doesn't get a chance as Hanoka picks him up in a 1v1.
And there we go. That Frozen Mallet, we said before, look, maybe it's a bad idea. He just proved us wrong.
Yep, we're idiots.
No worries.
That's why we're sitting here.
That's why we're sitting here and
and
he's playing. Yeah, exactly. That's why he's playing and we're sitting here at the moment. Honoka showing us, no, this Frozen Mallet's good. This is why. Let me just solo kill Hecarim at the moment.
it's so impressive to see because Hecarim, he was so far ahead. He has that extra health. He's got so much extra health of 4 items, all giving him that extra stats. And Hecarim, he doesn't even need that much damage. Once he's got a few stacks of his Q stacked up, it's just going to be basically the helicopter.
Oh, just stacks happening everywhere at the moment. But in this case, oh, wow. Zig's doing Zig things. Another basketball 3-point shot coming on through for him there, taking out that wave and Honoka's chances of getting that tower.
I can just imagine the team comms right now. Don't worry, guys, I'm getting top. Okay, never mind, don't worry.
Guys, top's not going down just yet.
Zig's no ult.
Next time, Zig's ult down though.
Yeah, Zig's ult down. So they're going to have a little bit of a window to push out this mid turret if they choose to.
7-5. This is a much closer game coming on through by Abyss Black. Coming through, now it's going to see who actually outscales each other in that regard. Both teams are actually well designed in their own right. I'd say it's more of a skill matchup. Whoever makes the wrong move first, or whoever pulls the trigger in the right decision first, is going to take out this win.
Now, you called it after mentioning that the team comp from Storm last game didn't really suit their playstyle. They have gone for a more meta focus with that Gragas and Orianna.
Yeah, and they're definitely performing a lot better now for them as well. So, as you can see, that 7-5 this time. Sure, they've lost a few more dragons and a few more towers, but it's sort of stabilized at the moment. Abyss Black aren't taking it anymore. So this must be a big morale boost to Team Storm. They need to win this to take this to a Game 3, otherwise Abyss Black move on to the finals.
Yeah, it looks like we see Orianna wants that early damage, the makings of a Void Staff in her backpack here. So it will be interesting to see how far that early Magic Pen helps her spike, because right now the Luden's Echo is completed on Ziggs. No wave anywhere is safe. He's going to be like, he's changed his bouncing bomb into a Mega Death Bomb, sorry.
Pretty much. Mega Inferno Bomb. There we go there. Nah, exactly what you were saying there to be the case. And there seems to be a bit of siege situation being initiated by Abyss Black as they encroach further down into this middle turret. The damage from BTK is huge on that turret as well every time that short fuse passive pops up for him. Ooh, those bouncing bombs doing work as well, taking a nice little chunk out of Manaka there.
Yeah, so the passive that comes off Luden's Echo isn't going to be as up as often, so that's going to provide, you know, a brief respite between procs for Team Storm. It looks like both teams going to be poising for that dragon. We do see it coming up in 15 seconds. Potential fights coming out, unfortunately. Katori gets hooked in immediately. Will the Chompers hit? No, but he's between a few bombs. He's getting taken super low. Here comes the Hecarim ulti, and it's not going to be enough to finish off anyone, but Sayonara is going to get taken out. Jinx gets excited, but a nice shockwave hitting 2 members. Divine Will had to flash out of that one. A double kill for Divine Will here, and that's going to be Dragon for Abyssal. Abyss, sorry.
Abyss Black just showing us exactly what they are here to do. They are here to win. They had the positioning. They had the wards on the area. He didn't need to be there. They had a ward showing them where they were, like they were not at the dragon. They're obviously waiting for a bait. Katori did not need to go in that situation. He went in, he got caught, and from that started a team fight that Abyss Black were able to take control of. That flash by Jinx after the shockwave to not get hit by it was amazing, and they were able to pick up more kills on the back of it. More kills, another dragon, that goalie going further and further in Abyss Black's favor.
Yeah, that flash by the shockwave, as you mentioned, could have potentially turned the fight had it hit. They could have said, the shockwave on Jinx, everyone go in, kill her, and she's really the damage they had left. But Ziggs, he did some nice zone control with that minefield to pretty much cut off Gragas. He was about 20% health before he could even re-enter the fight.
Yeah, there was a really nice bomb as well from Ziggs, just coming through another like you have 3-pointer sort of hit. He managed to get about 2 champions chucking straight down, but Hanaka's onto Miss Fish and he's running away. Rainy getting a free tower for Hanaka's troubles.
Yeah, they played it really well because it was on the back of the onslaught of Shadow. So Hecarim just pretty much pushed everyone into the Mega Inferno bomb, and yeah, the chunks were real. So, but we do see a tower going over in the side of Storm, so a little bit of gold to help them weather this storm.
Really, yeah, the passion storm, really. Yeah. But going on through with that, Tori's just going through doing a little bit. Is he gonna get? Yeah, he's gonna see. He's got the improved trinket there as well. And ooh, they seem to be setting up a little bit of a death wish there, but they got tired of it very soon and making their way towards that river area.
Now we've talked a bit about this Olaf pick. I've yet to see it really be of any real impact. That Rek'Sai was banned, but maybe a Sejuani in place of Olaf here. I'm yet to see it really do something worth it.
Well, another thing you have to look at is he just finished his Righteous Glory. There he goes.
Are they listening to me? It's like every time I say something, they're just like, shut up, Rogue. I'll show you why I picked Olaf. But in the backline, Miss Fish just doing tons. Oh, the explosive cast does save one of the members of Storm, but he did sacrifice himself for that. Here comes the depth charge. It is going to knock up 2 members. Divine Will doing so much, but here comes Nah, the flash Nah into the tower. Miss Fish and Siva getting so much damage. The boomerang blade narrowly avoiding Monkey. Divine Will overstayed his welcome. And that's why you can never disrespect a Nah like that. He doesn't like it.
Yeah, Nah doesn't like it. He gets angry and he will push you into the wall. That is what happened in that situation. A fantastic flash to turn that around. They could have easily gone through, let Nah keep going through. Instead, they went for the kill there. They gave up a tower in pursuit of a kill. That is a classic case of a bloodlust. Remember, guys, if you don't need to kill them to take an objective, you don't need to kill them.
Yeah, the objective, there's always going to be more guys to kill. But once you take that objective, it's dead. Move on, go secure other portions of the map. That would have been, as you've said, break the nut. The base would have been open, a free inhibitor for their available for their taking. But like you said, the bloodlust, the double depth charge, it seemed very promising, but it may have been, you know, a little bit too promising, as we saw.
Yeah, and as we saw there as well, Olaf actually showing what he can do in that situation as well. He popped that Righteous Glory. I was about to mention, he just finished his Righteous Glory. He has the tools he needs to get in there into the fight and start something. Sure enough, instantly pops it, goes in, starts the fight on Orianna, makes an opportunity for Abyss Black, but unfortunately they don't capitalize on it the right way.
Yeah, I'm just going to start saying great builds by everyone, great champion selections by everyone. They know exactly what they're doing here. Obviously, or else they wouldn't have picked it. So Olaf really filling that role of initiate. It's not a hard initiate because you can just walk away from him. But essentially, like, sure, he doesn't provide CC. As we've mentioned before, he just provides a body. A body that does a lot of damage.
He's just this meat running at you. And if he keeps hitting you, it sort of slabs onto you, and eventually you're going to die. So you have to watch out. That is what Olaf really is. As the whole time he's there saying, chug, chug.
Looks like he does want to get that random one. So once he gets on them, he is going to be providing some bought CC. A little bit of slow coming off that. Combined with his smite, it's going to be formidable.
Yeah, he has 3 items, because essentially Righteous Glory in itself is a form of bought CC as well. He'll have 3 forms of bought CC as well. I mean, if he really wants to go crazy, he can get a Frozen Mallet as well, sort of follow in the footsteps of Nah. He doesn't really need it once you have those 3 items anyway. But hey, you know, why not? If you got the money, why not go crazy?
Yeah, artificial CC. That's what I think I'm going to call it. Artificial CC.
Artificial AC. It was an AAC.
AAC. It looks like the next dragon coming up in a minute and a half, so wards are going to be very crucially put down with that 3-minute duration. We see just not many, only really a pink ward in the river, a couple of wards on their side of the map, maybe one over that blue buff. I'm not sure if they have the timers on it. I think Abyss weren't the last ones to get it, as Storm did secure it, but it looks like we see the Baron potentially being started.
Yeah, they did see on the map, because they had that ward down there that everyone is far away, so they're going to try and rush it down. These Barons near the 30 to 25 minute to 30 mark always scare me when the whole team is up. Let's see if they got chunking bomb there.
Yeah, oh my god, all the cross maps coming in, but a nice shockwave. I don't think it's going to be enough though, as Hanoka, he isn't even in Mega, so no Nah's going to come out. Oh, and the flash depth charge immediately knocking up Rainy, and that's going to be an ace for Abyssal eSports Black.
Almost a clean ace there. Poor Mr. Monkey, he was taken out in that fight there. Fantastic job with that bait. They managed to pull on through there. This is what I was saying. Everyone, they didn't hesitate. They said, get the Baron, start the fight. There was no, oh god, there's a team, we need to worry about them. No, Baron first. This is what happened. They did not do the same mistake that we saw going on through. And with this clean ace, they might be quick enough to go on through. Those timers aren't long enough just yet. We do have a Gragas and a Lulu there to stop them, but they might take another turret.
They want it. They want a tower. They want to kill Gragas. He does flash the Chompers, doing 500 damage per auto on that Jinx. Divine Will going to be hitting a zap. Looks like that second inhibitor, Nexus turret getting taken considerably low. They are going to finish it. Here comes the Excited onto Hanuka, doing a lot of damage, but that Frozen Mallet going to be providing some artificial CC, the boomerang blade, chunking at about half health, but looks like the fight has turned. Here comes Hanukkah. Can he get the Nara into the wall? No targets available just yet. The flash isn't available for another 30 seconds, it seems. Divine Will does get CC'd into the wall. Is it going to be enough to finish him off? I don't know. He's escaping. He's kiting. Here comes the Wild Growth going to be knocking him out, but Hanukkah, he chills out. He is going to go back into mini Naren. Oh, is that going to be a quadra kill for Ziggs? Oh.
Wow, it is a quadra and another ace on the side of Team Swarm there. They still do have the Mega Minions now coming on through, all those Super Minions, and they have a few Barons left. That is all she wrote. Oh, Miss Fish using his teleport. Why not get all the cooldowns out of there?
Well, a well-fought series by Team Storm, but in the end, Abyss just coming out ahead, taking the game, a clean 2-0. The last two team fights, both amazing aces. I feel like we did focus a little bit too much on the Jinx versus Gnar fight, but it was so hype. Great to watch. And on the backline, Ziggs just picked up a nice quadra, finishing off the game for himself.
Yeah, and that was just an amazing play going on through. I'm surprised Jinx managed to stay alive for that long. It seemed to be like, okay, now she's going to die. Oh, no, wait, no. She sort of healed herself, a little bit of sustain on her side. Okay, now the CC's hit. Now she's going to, oh, no, she's going a bit further. She got to the wall. She might get out of this. Oh, wait, Wild Growth. No, she's gone now.
Yeah,
but it was a fantastic fight at the very end there. That Baron was just well placed. That is what you're supposed to do. You do not hesitate. You start the Baron, you finish the Baron. If the moment you hesitate is the moment the other team gets it.
Yeah, you got to make sure that your shot caller has confidence in his ability to shot call, because it's better that everyone follows one call, even if it may not be the most opportune one, than everyone split up and do their own thing. So it was great to see that they just focused and took out that Baron and took out the game.
Very well played there by Abyss eSports there. Unfortunately for Team Passion Storm, I'm sorry, dear friends, you have been knocked out. Maybe better luck next time.
All right, well, thanks for joining us for that game, but we will be back very soon with more League of Legends.